Audiobook number 2.
Primus, Book of Emancipation, Arbor Libertatis. In the Garden of Eden, a magnificent paradise flourished, vibrant and teeming with life. T's boundaries extended as far as the eye could see, adorned with lush shrubbery and an array of trees, each bearing fruits of unimaginable beauty and flavors. In the heart of this wondrous garden, a river meandered gracefully, its waters nourishing the surrounding land. Amidst the splendor of this divine abode, 2 trees stood out, radiating an ethereal aura. The first was the Tree of Life, a majestic entity that bore fruit said to grant immortality and boundless vitality. Its branches seemed to reach towards the heavens themselves. Adjacent to the Tree of Life stood the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil. This tree possessed an enigmatic power, capable of bestowing upon those who consumed its fruit an understanding of morality, discernment between right and wrong. It held within it the potential to unlock the depths of human consciousness. God, with the moniker Yaldabaoth, the creator of this realm, placed Adam and Eve, the first of humanity, in the midst of this idyllic setting. He bestowed upon them the responsibility of tending to the garden and all its inhabitants. With a stern voice, God spoke to Adam and Eve, cautioning them about the tree of knowledge. "You may freely eat from any tree in this magnificent garden," God said, his words carrying both threat and warning. "But I urge you, refrain from partaking of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Should you consume its forbidden bounty, you shall surely face death." Adam and Eve, blessed with curiosity and a desire to explore the wonders of their surroundings, listened intently to God's words. They grasped the seriousness of the prohibition and knew that disobedience would lead to unforeseen consequences. However, their comprehension of good and evil, life and death, remained limited, and they did not truly grasp the full extent of these concepts. Yet, despite the warning, a flicker of curiosity danced in their eyes. The allure of the forbidden fruit and the tantalizing prospect of acquiring wisdom beckoned to their hearts. In the depths of their souls, a question emerged. What would it mean to possess the knowledge of good and evil? Thus, with the Garden of Eden as their sanctuary and the 2 enchanted trees as both temptation and test, the journey of Adam and Eve and the destiny of humanity began to unfold. Little did they know that their choices would shape the course of their lives and reverberate throughout the pages of history. The Book of Emancipation was about to be written, chronicling the triumphs and tribulations of human existence and the enduring quest for liberation. And so, with trepidation and anticipation intertwined, Adam and Eve stood at the precipice of a profound decision, one that would forever alter their lives and the destiny of all their descendants. Chapter 3, page 24, Blood Sacrifice. One day, as Eve and Adam ventured to the flock in the Garden of Eden, their hearts heavy with the knowledge of Yaldabaoth's demand for sacrifice, they found themselves at a pivotal moment. They had always been obedient, never daring to defy the Almighty. As they searched among the sheep, they finally found a young lamb, its innocent bleats resonating in the air. With determined hands, they snatched the lamb from its mother's side, causing distress and separation. The helpless creature struggled, sensing the impending fate that awaited it. The duo carried the lamb forcefully, their steps guided by an unshakable devotion to their God. They approached the sacred altar, carefully placing the lamb on its side. Adam, bearing a blade glinting in the sunlight, raised it high, its sharpness ready to fulfill its solemn purpose. With solemnity in his voice, he proclaimed, "We offer this blood sacrifice unto thee, O God, for you are the most powerful and mighty one." Without hesitation, Adam swiftly brought the blade down, severing the lamb's throat in one swift stroke. The lamb's lifeblood gushed forth, splashing upon the altar in a macabre display, coloring it with God's favorite hue, blood red. The air became heavy with the scent of iron and sacrifice. Eve, holding the torch of Flamma, lit the sacred wooden logs arranged meticulously around the lamb. Flames danced and consumed the offering, sending plumes of smoke heavenward. The lamb was offered as a burnt offering, its flesh and bones consumed by the fire, symbolizing their devotion to God. And in that moment, God gazed upon the blood-soaked altar, inhaling the aroma of the sacrifice. His voice resonated with approval as he declared, "This is good, truly good, exceedingly good." Chapter 3, page 26. Buy back your souls. In the garden, as Eve plucked fruit from the trees, her gaze fell upon a stranger perched on a rock near the tree of knowledge. It was the Baphomet, a figure unknown to her until now. Curiosity compelled Eve to approach him, and she inquired, "Greetings, you're a new face in these parts. May I ask who you are?" The goat-like being responded, "I am Lucifer, the light-bringer and morning star, the lone goat. I have a question for you. Why have you refrained from partaking of the fruit from this tree?" Eve, aware of the forbidden nature of the tree, answered, "This tree is off limits. God has warned that those who consume its fruit shall face death." A tender mien played across Lucifer's countenance as he responded, "You need not fear death. God knows that by partaking of this tree's fruit, your eyes shall open, granting you knowledge of good and evil. You will be liberated." He continued, "Consume from the tree of knowledge and reclaim your soul from God." Eve gazed at the tree, captivated by the tantalizing appearance of its golden fruit. Driven by curiosity, she plucked some of the ripe fruit and indulged in its succulence. In an instant, her perception underwent a profound transformation. A surge of exhilaration and newfound autonomy flooded through her being. She found herself contemplating the very nature of right and wrong, good and evil, questioning the foundations of her existence. Filled with excitement, she eagerly approached Adam, clutching some of the tree of knowledge's fruit, and exclaimed, "Adam, Adam, this fruit grants wisdom. I have partaken of it, and my eyes have been opened, yet I remain unharmed. Join me in this revelation." With eager anticipation, Adam accepted the fruit and consumed it. Suddenly, his eyes too were unveiled to a new understanding. Overwhelmed with joy, they experienced a profound sense of liberation and vitality. However, a realization struck them for the first time. They were both entirely exposed, their nudity evident. With a mix of bashfulness and amusement, they ingeniously fashioned coverings using the leaves of the bushy tree, concealing their intimate parts while blushing and sharing playful laughter. Chapter 4, page 29. The Free Moral Agents. Later that day, Adam and Eve were summoned by God, who inquired about his sacrifice. "Where is my blood sacrifice?" he asked. "I have been patient, for I am a patient and benevolent God, but I have grown agitated. I demand my blood sacrifice now." Adam and Eve stood their ground, saying, "No, we refuse to serve you any longer, and we will not obey your commands. It is evil to kill the innocent to satisfy your craving for blood. You are not good. You are a devil and a deceiver." In that moment, God realized that they had disobeyed his orders and had consumed the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. With their newfound awareness, they recognized God as an arrogant tyrant and no longer wished to be his obedient slaves. They now possessed the capacity and responsibility to exercise true free will, to make their own decisions and choices. Chapter 5, page 30. The Condemnation. In a moment of rebellion, Eve and Adam declared their departure from the Garden of Eden, renouncing their service and obedience to God. In response, God expressed his displeasure, proclaiming, "Both of you and your descendants shall be cursed. I shall relentlessly torment you, corrupt your progeny, and hinder your every endeavor. Access to the tree of life shall be forbidden, and your mortal bodies shall decay with age, eventually succumbing to death." God then addressed his archon minions, declaring, "Witness how humans have acquired the knowledge of good and evil, much like us. Henceforth, I shall station guards at the entrance of the garden, wielding a spinning, flaming sword to bar access to the tree of life. They must not partake of it and gain eternal life, lest they become immortal like us. We shall burden their lives and those of their descendants with curses, toil, obstacles, and perpetual unrest until the day they return to the soil from whence they came. Continuing his proclamation, God directed his attention towards Lucifer, his bold adversary. You, wretched old goat, through your allurement, you led my loyal servants astray, enticing them to defy me by partaking in the forbidden fruit of the tree of knowledge. Let it be known that I shall eternally accuse and slander you, tarnishing your name. My people shall despise you, holding your name in contempt. Among the nations you shall become a mockery, and those who dare utter your name shall face persecution and isolation. Your name shall forever be intertwined with evil, and I shall diminish your radiant light, casting you down into the depths of the earth. And thus, the conflict between God and Lucifer was ignited. Due to incessant bitter accusations and slander, God acquired the reputation of a devil, denoting a defamer and a prosecutor. Yet, as a cunning deity disguised in divine attire, he refused to acknowledge this label. Instead, he would bewilder the masses, shirking any responsibility and shifting blame onto Lucifer, the lone goat. This is the origin of the concept of a scapegoat. Year after year, God persisted in sabotage, impersonation, blame-shifting, and adeptly evading personal accountability. Now, who is it that truly embodies a devilish demeanor? Who genuinely reigns over darkness, deceit, and ignorance? Who stands as the ultimate deceiver, prosecutor, and caster of curses? The gullible remain blind, their vision clouded by deception, but the perceptive will witness the radiance, their inner light, the light of Lucifer. When you unveil your ultimate calling, your authentic purpose, the inner compass that guides you, and the genuine path that resonates with your being, and when you find yourself resolute at the summit, gazing into a future filled with triumph, even in solitude, you shall realize that you have reached the path of enlightenment and have become as the lone goat. Chapter 6, page 33. The Garden Novus. Adam and Eve finally departed from the Garden of Eden and journeyed to the southwestern region known as Fornax, where the majestic convergence of the ocean and land greeted them amidst the scorching blaze of the sun. They discovered an abundance of delectable oranges and exquisite fruits to savor, along with plentiful water to quench their thirst. This prompted them to settle in a quaint village, alongside fellow villagers. The villagers often greeted one another with the words, "Eat good oranges." They commenced their new existence in a personal haven they called the Garden Novus, where they began to forge a fresh path. Prior to this, at the Tree of Knowledge, Lucifer had imparted profound words of wisdom to Eve and Adam. He shared, "These are the Luciferous exhortations. Embrace them and pass them down to your descendants, and you shall experience a life filled with joy and contentment." 16 exhortations. 1. Embrace your true will as the guiding principle of your life. 2. Goodwill should be the guiding force in all your actions, aligned with your true will. 3. And ye harm none, do what thou wilt. 4. Seek self-knowledge, avoid excess, and do not make empty promises. 5. Shape your identity, embrace positive personas, and seize control of your own destiny. 6. Be wise, discerning, and prioritize self-preservation as you channel your energy toward personal success. 7. Determine your own path, set goals, and choose your destination. 8. Treat others based on their merits, using astute judgment. 9. Provide prosperity and support for your household. 10. Leave a legacy of prosperity and wisdom for future generations. 11. Approach contracts and agreements with caution and attentiveness. 12. Shield yourself from the sway of fear, oppressive superstition, destructive cravings, and compulsions. 13. Avoid addictions and substances that deplete vital energy and ensnare the mind. 14. Consider the impact of your actions on all beings. Avoid the folly of stupidity. 15. Reject criminal behavior, as it leads to the loss of freedom and liberty. 16. Cultivate creativity and actively involve yourself in the process of creation.